Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present this case here, or this story here. I really thought about some minutes, how should I start? Something like, let me take you with me on a journey or something, I don't know. But yeah, my name is Robert Mosdzien, working for Evonik Industries. AG before 1st of July, and we keep on restructuring and keep on changing the whole organization. And from 1st of July, I'm now working for Evonik Industry Resource Efficiency GmbH. So we have restructured now from the 1st of January or 1st of July. And I'm working there as an HR business partner, organizational development, so to say. And before the 1st of January, I worked for one business unit, one former business unit of Evonik, called Coatings and Additives. And I worked there as job title was Culture Manager. So we had, since 2008, a culture initiative started with the OCI, with tools of human synergistics. And I would like to tell you about this business unit and the way we try to develop the organization in direction of a constructive culture. And it all started in 2008. So in 2008, we had the challenge that we cut down half the number of business units. So from 12 business units, we cut down to 6 business units, and the business unit so-called Coating Additives was formed. And that was a complete new situation for a lot of employees. So we got a new management team, we got new bosses, we got totally different cultures coming together. So if you look in the old traditional chemical industry, and also at Evonik, there were much of different cultures, like old Degussa, if you know Degussa, an old company, old German company. We have old Hüls, old Röhm. We have mix of so different cultures that we, in that days, management team decided we have to work on this. We have to bring the people together. We have to use the synergies to be successful, etc. And we came up with these headlines like rebuilding a culture where we motivate people, strive for excellence, expect people to maintain their integrity and personal standards, and lead people. And that was a special challenge to cooperate with others and having passion for working together. And the management team this time decided to use the OCI. Yeah? And they also moved on with setting up the goal culture, the to-be culture, in their management team with 8 people. And here we are. That is the OCI of the to-be culture. And I think it's the typical to-be culture. Yeah? Okay, we can discuss about this oppositional, yeah, a little bit, but I would say it's a typical to-be culture. And especially in the management team, they worked hard on this approach, on the theory, on the model. So I had a conversation with because that was 2008. I was not in this organization 2008, but the consultant. She had really hard time with our management teams because they believe nothing and they want to have proved everything. And she told me afterwards, Robert, they told me, or they asked me these kind of questions. I really now I knew the method in detail. Yeah. Okay. And then the challenge started how to communicate, how to get the people on board in the organization. Management team were just what we have here, 12 people. But we were an organization, international organization of 3,500 people. Yeah? How we can include these people and take them with us. And especially also in the management team, when you explain the circumflex, there are some challenges. No? When you say something about perfectionism, people said, oh, well, we need to be perfectionistic. Engineers love perfectionism. Yeah? Marketing people love competitiveness on a market. Yeah? So to bring the OCI to the people was not that easy. And so I joined the accreditation from Human Synergistics, and then I saw a chart, and I love this chart. And I think it was on a training with John and Valère. So thank you very much, absolutely great training. And I love this chart here with the flower for the constructive, with the saw for the red, and with the green, with the what is the name? It's not a shot, it's like a wheel, no? Just to be a wheel somewhere in the system. And that helped enormous. That helped enormous to explain the whole approach. And also, this is not enough, because I explained it and one manager told me, oh, well, but sometimes you need the saw. Yeah, okay. No? And then we came up with another chart from a training. And that's really, we used it very much, and it helped enormous also, like Dr. Cook, to explain the same thing in other words. And it also, with the conversation, with the discussion with the people, it helped really much that people really understand what, especially the aggressive styles, especially what is the negative things with the aggressive style, also with the being good with the passive styles. No? So, for example, the typical answer to whatever happens, follow the rules, and conventional is, yeah, but we have our safety rules. And the discussion, this is not about safety rules here. Yeah? This is about rules that make no sense at all, yeah? That are in an organization. But nevertheless, if you think about managers, engineers, they all love these numbers and all love the theory, etc. But when you think about people working in plants, you maybe have to think about another approach. And if you go to a shift worker on a 24-hour shift and tell him something about, oh, well, let's be a little bit more humanistic and encouraging today, you know maybe the answer. The answer is like, what? Yeah? And so we also take our to-be culture, take the results of the first OCI measure, and then we had our typical gaps, and then we translated this direction, so this constructive style, this achievement, this self-actualizing, this humanistic, encouraging, and affiliative, we translated it into daily, observable, easy understand behavior, and set out some kind of our ground rules. And that's on the next slide. So we communicated very much these basic beliefs, yeah? Which is nothing else, I think, as the constructive styles in different words. So showing respect to each other, providing open and constructive feedback. That's all about the affiliative and humanistic encouraging, helping others to achieve their goals, accepting responsibility, sharing knowledge, celebrating success, building trust, etc. So that was the set of basic beliefs what we communicated in the company, and where really management said that is the direction, and that is the direction we want to go with the organization.
Communicating core beliefs within an organization is one thing.
Yeah.
How did you make sure they really got to the ground?
Yeah, yeah. That's part also of the presentation. Yeah, because you will nothing will change if you send out a poster with this to the organization. Huh? If you have luck, maybe people open the package. Yeah. If you have more luck, people put it on the wall. Huh? But you will change nothing. Yeah? So also we thought about how to implement this into the organization, and this is a very, sorry for the lot text. Yeah, this is for an overview. What we did on actions. No? So first, it started all with the management team. So to be honest, before we communicate it down deep in the organization, we start in the management team, and the management team needs more or less 1 year to get through it. So they really get in detail, ask about why is the OCI, what is it about. They do an LI, everyone did an LI in that management team, for example. Everyone get a coaching after the LI. We had transparency of the LI results among these managers, and we have 50-year-old managers, and had really deep red results, also from their colleagues as a feedback. And there were happen things like, okay, if you see me like this, I can stop, I can quit, I can go. And they really get a team coaching, they really get single coaching to work on themselves, and they made, for me, one of the biggest steps. They have 2 measures of the OCI, and they really improved over 2 years all their constructive styles. Very, very great. So it started all with the management team, and then we set up a culture team with different people from different parts of the organization. So cross-hierarchical, cross-functional, and they thought about what can we do to have this more into the organization. And we have also a consultant, and this consultant came up with a toolbox. We give the organization a so-called culture toolbox. And in that culture toolbox, there were a lot of methods I can use to interact with people, to bring in people in decision makings, yeah, etc. And there were and people used it. Yeah, we trained people, and we trained people not like this. Okay, here you have this 200 methods you can use. We asked people, what is your, like we did some minutes before, what is your burning issue at the moment? What is your topic? Where are your problems? And we have just a list of problems like, I need to bring these people on board. I have this project team that is not working, etc., etc., etc. And we trained the tools with the problems of the people and make some kind of multipliers for these tools in the organization. That was a very big success. We started also with the top 200 people in our organization and have these, it's called Link Up program. It's called for Learning, Innovation, Network and Culture. Link Up. And we have for all these 20, around 15, 20 Link Up groups that were the top 200 people in our organization. Totally cross-functional, cross-regional, put together in groups. And these groups were self-organized. And there were all the time a mixture between a culture topic in these groups and a daily business topic in the groups. So we made the whole culture thing a topic in the whole organization. Yeah? And trained also our top 200 people, everyone. And we made, for the Link Up, we made 3 rounds. So 3 rounds every year, another group. Every group, 3 modules, get together with your people, get to know each other, collaborate with each other, exchange knowledge, etc. in the whole organization. So I mentioned the toolbox. We have between 2009 and 2011, we have a first OCI in 2009, and then in 2011 a second one. And the problem was we have not really big development in these 2 years. And that was one situation that was discussed very hard in the management team. Should we stop it all or should we go on? And they decided to go on. And that was really a good one because with that large organization, so much decentralized, you cannot have results in 2 years. Yeah? And they keep going. And we have an international culture team. Yeah, we have also a regional culture team at the end that thinks about measures in their regional organization to increase the culture styles. We also connected the, and if you know the OEI framework, for example, we also connected the culture initiative with our HR processes. Because only, again, putting a poster on the wall, doing workshops, it's all nice. But if you don't care about your goal systems, if you don't care about your talent management, if you don't care about which people are coming into your organization, you will change also not so effective. And we have, for example, we have a set of questions concerning the constructive styles. We ask people in our interviews, in our job interviews. Yeah? And for our HR people, as help, no? To check maybe also this. So if you have some people like same knowledge, same qualification, then you can ask these questions, for example, to check is that this person really fitting in our constructive culture or that we are aiming for. We have also some other trainings. One business line, about 250 people. They have really big issues in cooperation and feedback, and they have feedback trainings for 250 persons. Yeah? So to increase this feedback culture. We have, that's great, we have culture breakfasts, just breakfast. Yeah? So we invite people to get together, have maybe 2 charts about the culture initiative, and then let people talk. Because with that increasing workload at the moment or in the last years, this connection of people like standing together and get a coffee and have an exchange of experiences, knowledge, is going less and less. And so we just create situations and chances for people to get connected. And one feedback I received is, oh, Mr. Mosdzien, you have a great job, just go out and have breakfast with the people here. I'm a hardworking person. But on the other hand, we also had feedback like, okay, well, when I'm not had participated this year, I never had known this great project this guy is working on, and I can help him, or he can help me. So we have some really good stories about that. We did a lot about culture communication. So we also have a culture communication team that was more or less from the business line communication managers, the team, and they thought about how we can communicate further also the initiative in the organization. Yeah, and we connected more or less also more trainings, processes like start and lead training, that is a training program for new leaders in our organization, or with the change management program, etc. And after a while, with all these workshops and with all these measures, the people have their own ideas. Yeah? People saw that, people get convinced about this constructive approach, and they invented or came up with own ideas, like these meeting agreements. Just an easy thing, meeting agreements. To just how we can, it was also an outcome of the employee survey, we have too much meetings, they were not effective, I don't know the people in the meetings, I don't know why I'm here, all these typical things. Yeah, and we put together a group that worked on these meeting agreements, and at the end of the day, they came up also with an idea with the so-called blue card. So we all have the topic of blue culture, blue because constructive, blue culture, and we put in every meeting room blue cards, and if something going wrong, off agenda, off topic, people don't behave constructive, don't even need to say a word, just take the blue card, throw it on the table, and the meeting is stopped for a while, and people reflect the progress. It is working, just an easy tool. And also people came up, and this idea was born in the States, with the culture constitution. They thought, okay, well, you have fully our buy-in, we support this initiative, it's absolute a great idea, but what happened when management changed? And we make it our own, this initiative, we make it our own initiative. And some people have this culture constitution here, and it's not like we're the people, we're the employees of CA. So it's a funny idea somehow, and people signed it. So we have a big annual meeting with the top 200 people of our company or our organization, and people signed this constitution, and we were a little bit reluctant in Germany, because in Germany, signing constitution, but it worked. And some people signed it like, I fully believe in it, I want it like this. And some people signed it like, my organization is absolutely red, but I want to change it, and I signed for that. So after half a year, about the half of the organization have signed this constitution, and they put it in their offices. They put it with their signings of their teams, put it on the wall. And that is some kind where we recognize that people take over somehow and make it their own initiative. And that was a really great moment. That is, the responsibility is not only by the managers, it's also by all the people in the organization. This is my most favorite picture when I talk about our initiative. And you see here a campus from the Missouri Southern State University. And this is a real story. So on this, they built it up, the campus, a new campus. And what happened now, normally if you build a campus, you build the houses, like, or the Gebäude? Buildings, thank you, so easy, buildings. You build up the buildings and you build up the ways and everything is fine. What they did here is they built number 14 and number 17, for example, and then they only know that people have to move a lot between 14 and 17, but they built no ways. So they have let the people walk for some months, maybe 2 months, and then they built the ways in the footsteps of the people. And that is a little bit like we did our culture initiative. We have the goal culture, we set the frame, we set the guidelines, we gave the toolbox, and we gave people chances to meet and chances to, or where they can develop a culture. And they did it. Okay, you have it in this organization, part of the organization maybe more, and the other part a little less, yeah. But people really take the initiative and they use the tools and they build, so to say, their way. And that was the only chance in our so decentralized organization. Yeah. Okay, we also used our internal survey. We have a commitment index survey every 2 years. And also here we can see the impact of our culture initiative. Every part of our organization, the commitment index increased. And also we ask questions about our initiative, and we have an extremely strong correlation between I know this initiative and I'm part of the initiative and commitment index. Very strong correlation. And also here you can see the development of the organization between 2008 and 2014. Okay, 2014, to be honest, this was a sample survey from from different people in different parts of the organization. Okay, 20 people, we can discuss if that is representative, but also from our other results, we saw here development. The first 2 years or 3 years, it was a not so big development. Lessons learned. That's just a list. Now, keep up the vision, of course. It takes longer than maybe 2 years. Being aware of the top management as a role model, especially in the beginning, because people will just look up. Starting with a top-down process, creating benefits for individual, leaving our comfort zones, okay, focusing on constructive feedback, build up a culture team. And the culture team with different people from different parts of the organization. Yeah, and at the end of the day, easy messages, good communication, and practical example. And every time when people see a benefit for themselves, they will join. And that is more or less the story. At the moment, we have the next challenge. We are now not only the 3,500 people, we are again restructured, and we have now 8,000 people. And at the moment, we are work on a new process for the resource efficiency GmbH. Thank you very much.